Hey everyone, Liam here, and in this video we are going to bring the boss character that you created with Noah to life with some programming. Before doing so though, I wanted to let you know that me and Noah recently talked about how we would like the boss battle to play out, and we've decided that in fact it would be more fun if initially the boss randomly patrolled around the map, and once he reaches half of his initial health, only then should he start moving towards the player. We will of course still use the same animations, so the boss's walk animation for when he is randomly moving around the scene, and then his run animation for when he is chasing after the player. First of all, we have to spawn the boss once all the waves have been completed. To do that, I will go inside of my wave spawner script. At the top, I will create a public GameObject variable for our boss, and also a public transform variable called boss spawn points, which will store the position where the boss will spawn on the map. Then I'll find the line of code that prints a message saying game finished and remove it. This is the place that detects when we have finished all of our waves. So I'll now instantiate the boss at the position and rotation of the boss spawn point. Okay, back in Unity, I will select my wave spawner object, and for test purposes, we are going to make only one wave that will contain only 2 enemies, so that we can test quicker the boss battle. Now we will drag and drop our boss prefab onto the boss slot, and we will create an empty game object for the boss spawn point that I will drag and drop on its respective slot. Make sure to delete the boss from the scene view. Now when we press play and finish killing our small wave, we can see that our boss spawns in the game with his initial animation. So as we mentioned, our boss is going to have 2 different states. The first one where he'll be patrolling randomly around the map, and the other where he'll be chasing the player. So we need to create a system to be able to change from the patrol state to the chase state based on the health of the enemy. So to achieve this, we're going to be using something called state machine behaviors. Now, that word sounds pretty complex, but I assure you that it really isn't. Just as we change animations inside of the animator, we'll be changing scripts with the animator as well. So basically, we have our walk animation and our run animation. On the walk animation, we'll be adding the patrol script. The patrol script will then run whenever the boss will be playing his walk animation. And on the run animation, we'll add the chase script, and the script here will run whenever the boss will be playing his run animation. And we'll transition from the walk animation to the run animation when we will activate the stage 2 trigger, which will be when the boss will have only half of his health left. Alright, so in this video, we'll create the patrol state. Basically, there will be patrol points scattered all around the map. The boss will choose a random patrol point and move towards it. When he reaches near enough to that point, he will choose another one, and so on. I will select the boss prefab and open up the animator window. Then I will select the walk animation and I will press the add behavior button. We will then create the patrol behavior. Double click on it to open it up inside of your text editor so we can start coding this out. You'll be presented with a bunch of comments. I will start off by uncommenting the first 3 functions, and also the comments above them. I can also remove the other comments because we won't be using them in this video. So the onStateEnter function acts like the start function. Whatever code you put inside it will run once whenever you will start playing the walk animation. The onStateUpdate function is similar to the update function. It will get called every single frame while you are playing the walk animation. Lastly, the onStateExit function gets called once when the boss will stop playing his walk animation. It's important to note that these 3 functions must be present, otherwise it'll give you an error message. So I'll create a private GameObject array that will contain all of my patrol points. Then inside of the onStateEnter function, I will assign to that variable all the game objects that have the tag of patrol point in the game. Now we have to select a random spot in that array. I will create a private int variable called random points. Inside the function, I will set it equal to a random number between 0 and the patrol point's.length. We have to now move our boss to the random patrol point. To do that, I'll go inside of my onStateUpdate function and I'll write animator.transform.position is equal to vector2.moveTowards. And then in the parentheses, I will state the boss's current position, so animator.transform.position, his desired destination, so patrol points with the index of random points, and at what speed. So I'll create a public float variable called speed then I'll pass in that variable multiplied with time.delta time. Okay, so now our boss is moving to a random spot on the map. Next off, we have to detect when he's near enough to that spot before choosing a new random spot to move towards to. To do that, I will check if the distance between the animator.transform.position and the patrol point of index random point.transform.position is less than say 0.1f. If it is, then I will simply recalculate the random point variable by getting a new random number. With all that done, I can save the script and go back to Unity. I will now create an empty game object called patrol points. To be able to visualize easier where the objects are in the game, I'll press on this drop down and choose a diamond icon. Then in the game window, you can click on the gizmos drop down and change the 3D icon size as you like. Now we will copy and paste this patrol point and place it somewhere else on the map. Repeat this process until you have about 10 to 20 of them. To clean up the hierarchy, I'll create another empty game object that will be the parent of all our patrol points. Let's then create the patrol point tag and assign it to all of our patrol points. Lastly, I'll choose a speed value for my boss. Pressing the play button, we will first of all kill our 2 melee enemies from our first wave. And once that's been done, the boss will spawn and he will start patrolling randomly around the map. Okay, great job guys, we are making some serious progress here. In the next video, we will finish off our boss, so I'll see you over there.